Blissful greetings, everyone. It's so good to see you. I've thought of a way to greet you and a way to say goodbye after the video is over. Blissful greetings with a little hand wave, jazz fingers, and blissful blessings on the way out. So, anyway, today I have a couple books I'm going to be reading aloud to you. And they have to do with giraffes. This was a request from a subscriber. So if you like this video, please keep subscribing or just viewing. Welcome to have you. I'm so nice to have you. So welcome aboard. This is Platinum Bliss ASMR. And I just want to say again how thankful I am for all of you. I appreciate your viewership and continuing to come back to the channel, giving it a try. But I have a couple books I'm going to read aloud to you. And I guess this guy's name is Dolly Boo. Hello, I'm Dolly Boo, 'cause my tag says so. So, this was gifted to me. So, someone knew I wanted to make a video on this, so they gifted it to me. So, thank you to that person. I don't know if they want to be named or not, so. The first book is called The Existential Giraffe. I thought that was cool. A cool name. I had to read there's an existentialist book called the Something of Being by Jean-Paul Sartre. I don't know. This was written, this is not nearly as deep as that, but I'll have to think of that name. If you know the name of that book I'm thinking of, The Something of Being, please put it in the comments section below. Anyway, I hope this satisfies the person that requested it. This is by Eric Kesselman, illustrated by Erica Missy. I don't know either the author or the illustrator. I'm not familiar with him, but it's the title page. The Existential Giraffe. And I hope it's okay for me to read this way. Here's the title, the dedication page. He has a lot of dedications. That's cute. I like that design. I kind of like that wallpaper for my phone. For all my friends, I'm very glad you all exist. Still thinking about the name of that book I had to read in college. Let's see. Was it The Importance of Being? No, it was something else, but oh well. Alright, let's get right into it. This is the first of two books I'll be reading today. There once was a giraffe named Sammy. Or was there? Sammy had a big problem. Sammy thought he was a giraffe. But how could he be sure? What if he were really a butterfly who thought he was a giraffe? What if he were really a person or a fish or a tree worst of all, what if Sammy didn't exist at all, but just thought he did? The possibility of not really existing made Sammy very, very sad. So, I guess if you haven't thought of this already, it's a very it's like a children's quasi-philosophical book. Philosophy, that was one of my hardest subjects in college. My freshman year, I remember. Then one day, Sammy realized maybe he couldn't be sure he was a giraffe just because he looked like a giraffe. And maybe he couldn't be certain that the sun was really yellow and the sky was really blue. But he knew for sure what he thought he saw, and that meant he really existed as something. Or how could he think at all? And even if Sammy was an imaginary giraffe, that was no reason to be an unhappy imaginary giraffe. That's right. Excuse me. Okay. Sammy decided not to worry so much and just try to be happy, whatever he really was. And Sammy lived happily ever after. Or at least he thought he did. That's pretty deep for a children's book. Maybe it wasn't meant for children. I don't know. That's about my level. When it comes to philosophy, that is. But anyway, I don't know, does that have to do with the philosophy of existentialism? With that statement, I think, therefore I am? Because that statement's been around forever. So I don't know if I got that from existentialism or some other form of philosophy, but anyway. Okay. This is called A Giraffe and a Half. And it is by one of my all-time favorite authors, by Shel Silverstein. There are a couple books of his that I really enjoyed, especially as a kid. A Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends. You should check out some of his poems. They're cool. They're funny. So A Giraffe and a Half. I have his The Giving Tree. That's one of my favorite all-time books. I cry every time I read it. If you had a giraffe, what do you think so far, Dolly Boo? Yeah, it's pretty good. I like these books. Good. It's not too deep for you? No, they're pretty good. Pretty much my level. Just like me, that's what I said. I think, therefore I am. Oh, well, aren't you just a philosopher? Wow, Dolly Boo. Okay, so you can sit and listen like everybody else out there with the rest of the audience. So, we left off. If you had a giraffe, that's like that book. If you give a mouse a cookie, if you give a moose a muffin. Okay, let's stick to this. If you had a giraffe and he stretched another half, you would have a giraffe and a half. If he put on a hat and inside lived a rat, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat. Kind of like Dr. Seuss a little bit with the rhyming. If you dressed him in a suit and he looked very cute, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit. If you glued a rose to the tip of his nose, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose. Very cute illustrations. If a bumbly old bee stung him right on the knee, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee. If he put on a shoe and then stepped in some glue, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee and some glue on his shoe. I usually get gum on my shoe in the parking lot, with my luck. If you gave him a flute and he played tooty-toot, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute. This is getting to be a tongue twister. If he used a chair to comb his hair, you would have, you ready? A giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute with a chair in his hair. Okay, looking quite interesting. Now, it all started with a giraffe and a half. If he tripped on a snake who was eating some cake, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake. That's cute. I like the picture of the snake eating the cake. If he found an old trunk and inside was a skunk, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake and a skunk in a trunk. If he met a fat dragon who sat in a wagon, You would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit, with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee, and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute, with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake, and a skunk in a trunk, and a dragon in a wagon. I just love his illustrations. I think he did these. I think Shel Silverstein was also an illustrator as well. I might be wrong on that. If he jumped on a bike and rode over a spike, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit, with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee, and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute, with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake, and a skunk in a trunk, and a dragon in a wagon, and a spike in his bike. Now that's a lot going on. It's even more than the Cat in the Hat had going on. With thing 1 and thing 2. I'm making a text-to-text connection here between Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein. They both had a way with words. If a blubbery whale got a hold of his tail, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit, with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee, and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute, with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake, and a skunk in a trunk, and a dragon in a wagon, and a spike in his bike, and a whale on his tail. It's a blubbery whale, all right. If he fell in a hole that was dug by a mole whale, you would have a giraffe and a half with a rat in his hat, looking cute in a suit, with a rose on his nose and a bee on his knee, and some glue on his shoe, playing toot on a flute, with a chair in his hair, and a snake eating cake, and a skunk in a trunk, and a dragon in a wagon, and a spike in his bike, and a whale on his tail, in a hole with a mole. But, oh, sorry. That's all the pictures there are on that one, on that page. But, there's always a but. If you brought him a pole to climb out of the hole, and the whale left his tail and went off for the mail, the postman, and he gave the spiked bike to a scout on a hike, and he left the fat dragon 'cause his wagon was sagging. And he gave his chair to a tired old bear, and he traded the flute to a bird for some fruit. And he told that old snake to go jump in the lake. And a man who bought junk bought the trunk with the skunk. And he gave the rose to a girl he chose, while the bee on his knee flew away with a flea. And he put the shoe with the glue on you. And that silly old rat ran away with his hat. There you are, right there, with the shoe on you. And he put his suit in the laundry chute, and he shrank another half. Oh, there he is. Oh, he got stuck. You would have a giraffe if you did all that, you would have a giraffe. Just your basic giraffe. That's my favorite picture. Yay, there they are. Again together. So that is the end. Again, if you made it all the way through this video, congratulations. I didn't put you to sleep, although that is kind of one of my goals, to lull you to sleep with my soft talking or my whispering. In this case, it's soft talking. I like this picture too. That's cute. Let's see. I don't see any other credits. So I think he did draw the pictures and wrote the words. So anyway, Dolly Boo and Platinum Bliss would like to say thank you for watching this video.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, everyone.
And what do we want to tell them if they like my videos, our videos?
Would you please like down below and subscribe, because Platinum Bliss has a lot more videos to make. And keep your suggestions coming, because we really like them a lot.
Well, thank you, Dolly Boo. That's awesome. I appreciate your helpfulness in on this video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and staying till the end if you made it all the way through. I appreciate your subscribing and your watching. If you're a viewer, thank you. If this is your first time, welcome. I have a few more videos I've done. I'm going to do a lot more, hopefully, in this year. I have one coming. I'm going to try to get one done tomorrow with looking through a catalog. So I like to point out, and it will be whispered. It will be whispered. I like to point out items of interest. So I know that was requested recently, right?
Yes, it was.
I'm not very good at ventriloquism, but anyway, thank you again. Blissful blessings to you and your families. Stay well, stay safe, be healthy. Hopefully you're all healthy out there. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.